It was the morning of October 27th, 2017.
Okay, this is a story of how we met.
What do I have to start?
Oh my god. Why do you do this every time? Okay. We're not gonna do this if you can't.
I can.
Then do it.
I'll get it later. Go pick a different toy. One that does make noise. Well, it was just a normal morning of work. I got told that I needed to go to Sunrise Hill, and I had no idea what that was. I didn't know there was a nursing home in Trey, but
Did you even know where Trey was?
I knew where Trey was.
Trey's hometown is 14 miles from here, so sometimes our high schools played each other. So he's familiar with us because of that.
But I didn't know there was a nursing home in Trey. But when I pulled up, it looked quite nice. It did. I was like, wow, Trey's stepping up the game. What? I'm just being honest. So I started work on a Wednesday.
I don't know if it was Monday or Wednesday.
I think it was Wednesday because I worked 2 days before I met you.
Okay. Well.
Worked 2 days, and then the third day on Friday. I'm already excited because it's Friday.
So, in the meantime here, I was in Arizona with my grandma and my aunt and one of my best friends, and we went down for a symphony. Andre Ryu, love him, he's awesome, he's great, you should look into it. But we went down there for that and to kind of scope out Arizona. I wanted to originally move to Tempe. Now that you're so in.
Well, no one calls it Tempe.
Multiple
Molly
people.
doesn't know how to pronounce the
Trey's
words.
just apparently from Arizona because he works there sometimes. It's just like Louisville and Lowville. Same concept.
Well, when you're from
Anyway,
Iowa, you say
who
how
cares?
it's pronounced.
I say Louisville.
Exactly, that's good.
You just be quiet. Anyway, Tempe, however it's pronounced.
It's Phoenix.
It's a suburb. Anyway.
It's all the same.
Okay, anyway. So, can you tell where I'm honeymoon?
We're still 100% in the honeymoon
No, we're not.
phase.
Anyway, I was in Tempe. I was scoping it out. I wanted to move there within the next few months. Yada, yada, yada. I got home on late Wednesday night, actually. I was supposed to get home on Thursday, but didn't work until Friday. Back to you.
Back to you with the weather, Trey.
I hate you.
So I'm walking in on Friday. Already in a good mood because it's Friday. And the first person I see is this girl right here.
First person he sees is me. I was walking down West Hall.
In some minty green scrubbies.
I was walking down West Hall with a treatment in my hand because I was med aid that day. And I was walking towards the resident's room. I was walking, carrying the treatments, like looking down, and I heard our ambulance door close, which is either A, where the ambulance comes in, or sometimes just like typically different like maintenance people that are there to do like different jobs or check on things or whatever. They come in that door. So hearing the door close caught my attention, and I looked up and made, at the time, what I thought was awkward eye contact with this Yahoo.
It was love at first sight.
So then I kept walking. The resident wasn't in their room. I started walking back up the hall. One of my coworkers was in another resident's room, and as I'm walking up the hall, I hear someone yell, "Molly," all quiet and whisper-like. And I went in there, and I'm like, "What?" And they're like, "Did you see that really hot guy?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm pretty sure I just made awkward eye contact with him."
Fish are friends, not food.
I can't. I literally. Well, then I walked up to the nurse's station. There was 2 of us med-aides on the floor, I think, or maybe just 1 and 2 nurses. I'm not sure. But I walked up to the nurse's station and told my nurse, who happens to be like the spunkiest, most out there nurse that we have, that I didn't know his name at the time, was really cute, and I basically just didn't stop talking about it. What did you do from there?
Well, we were remodeling a few of their bathrooms, putting new tile in and tearing the old out. And we needed the maintenance man for something because he wanted to keep some of the old tiles for some reason. And I walked out to the nurse's station to ask how do I want to word that?
How to page. Or how to get a hold of our maintenance man.
I went up to Tracy, who I now know is Tracy.
I guess we're naming you Tracy if you watch this. Anyway, so pause, because in the meantime of this, it happened to be my mom's birthday. So my mom was a nurse at the time. She still is a nurse, but she doesn't work as a nurse. My mom was a nurse who worked the floor, and it was her birthday, so she was off, and I was texting her like nonstop, basically, that he was really cute, and she kept telling me to go knock on the bathroom door, because that's what they were remodeling. Did she tell them that? The bathroom? I don't know. Anyway, she kept telling me to knock on the bathroom door, but Trey was working with another guy who was a lot older, like in his like 40s or 50s probably, and I was like, no, that's weird. Like, first of all, I'm not gonna go knock on the door. There's another guy in there. Second of all, what if he answers the door and I'm like, "Hi, you're cute. Are you single?" What if he's like, "No, sorry, I'm married and I have 2 kids." That would be really awkward, because at the time I thought I'd be, like, who knew how long I was gonna be there working with him. So my mom took it upon herself to text Tracy, the nurse, and told her to work her magic, whatever. So Tracy told me the next time he came out of the room, she was gonna ask him for his name and number, and I was like, no, you're not. So like 2 minutes later, he comes out of the bathroom, and I ditched. I bolted.
So I'm walking up to the nurse's station to somehow get a hold of Bruce, the maintenance man. And I am talking to a lady named Tracy, who I had met the first day. And she pages in for me. And in the meantime, I'm sitting up there waiting for him to show up. She said, "Can I ask you a few questions?" I'm like, "Sure."
I had bolted at this point.
She's like, "Are you single?" I said, "Yes." She said, "Well, we got a couple nurses walking around here that think you're really cute." I'm like, "Is that so?" She's like, "Would you be interested in giving me your number so I can hand it out?" I said, "Sure." So she gave me a piece of paper and a pen, wrote down my number, and that was that for that situation. She walked out all shy and bashful.
I walked out of the med room because that's where I went and hid, and I was like,
she
well,
bolted
I can't.
with a 12 case of root beer.
So I was like, I cannot hide in here forever. So I came out right away, turned the corner, went the other way.
Then I went back to work the rest of the day. And then I waited, and I waited, and I waited, and I waited till about 6 o'clock Friday evening when I finally received a text.
So in the meantime, I come out of the office that I ran into from the med room. I go and sit down at the desk next to Tracy. She kind of looks at me, gives me this look, and slides over a piece of paper with his name and his phone number on it, which I still have to this day. It's like hanging on our little magnet board thing. And immediately I go into the other room and Facebook search his name because I now have his name, just his first name. But I know, so his name's Trey, obviously. Obviously, there's not that many Treys around here. It's not very common. So I just typed in the name Trey, and Facebook is going to bring up your closest, like, people with that name. So he was, like, literally one of the, like, second people to pop up, showed that he was from Hudson. Yep. I was like, found him on Facebook. We're good. We're golden. I was able to do some creeping. Really locked in that he was cute. Anyway. So then I don't know what time is it. This is probably at like, it was before lunch. It was probably like 10:30. I first like noticed you at like 9 something, like 9:15 maybe. It's like 10:30, probably getting close to lunch. I have his number at this point. I was going to Ames that night to go out for Halloween weekend.
Lames.
And I decided that I couldn't text him right away at 2 o'clock when I got off because that was just obvious and it made me look desperate. So I was like, okay, well, I have to make it look like I'm like busy and I'm not like gushing to text him right away. So I waited and waited until I was in Ames and I knew that I was going to be doing stuff to keep me preoccupied if he like didn't respond or if it went bad. So I waited till like 6 or so, sent him a text that I took hours to come up with. So then he doesn't text me back for 2 hours. 2 hours after I worked up all this courage. 2 hours. I was like, this is why I don't do this. This is why I'm never texting anyone first ever, nor have I. So then he replies. He said that he had been parking cars at a Hudson game. That's why he wasn't on his phone.
It was cold as
all get out.
ice.
Yeah, and then it took like a solid week and a half to 2 weeks before we actually hung out for the first time. We had been texting pretty much the whole time. Pretty much nonstop, I would say.
Oh yeah, nonstop for sure.
And then
Thank you.
And then he came over one night. It was a Thursday, I think.
And I brought Cash.
And you brought Cash.
And we both fell asleep on her.
Cash and Trey both fell asleep on me. Like,
Cash
was laying on me and Trey was like laying by me on the couch and they both fell asleep on me. Cash was just a little puppy.
He was like 3 months old and about 20 pounds.
Just a little puppy.
So it really works, guys. Bring a puppy with you.
Anyway, so then he started coming over like twice a week, 2 or 3 times a week for like 2 weeks, and then it turned into
almost every day.
Every day, pretty much, for like 2 weeks, and then like 2 weeks later, we moved in together. So, anything else?
Stop it.
Stop.
She had zebra shorts on underneath her scrub pants the first
And
day.
I'll never live it down. Literally. Okay. You don't go to a nursing home every day for work thinking you're gonna meet your husband. So I was looking ratchet. I had a little messy bun. I had like a zit on my lip up here. I was wearing zebra Sophie shorts under my scrub pants that you happened to see through that day. So Trey was checking out my butt because he noticed my zebra
Well, when
shorts.
you're pushing someone in a wheelchair in front of me, it's kind of hard not to
I
notice.
did that on purpose. So yeah, that's the story. That's the tea. God is what brought us together.
You're so aggressive.
Say bye, Cash.
You want to go for a ride?
Say bye.